Welcome to the Medical Trauma Support Podcast, the show where we shine a light on the hidden impacts of medical trauma, explore tools for healing, and empower you to take control of your health journey. I'm Sarah, your host, a passionate advocate for trauma-informed care, somatic healing, and compassionate conversations. I'll bring you expert insights, healing strategies, and personal stories of resilience to help you feel seen, heard, and supported on your path to recovery. Hi, y'all. I am Sarah. I'm the host of the Medical Trauma Support Podcast. If you are familiar with the podcast, you know that I typically have a guest with me. I'm going to be doing a few solo episodes because I want to talk more about the support that is offered at Medical Trauma Support. And I think that the information I'm going to share is really relevant, whether you're working with us, whether you're a part of our community. I'm going to share things that can help you on your own journey. So you could do some of these practices along with whatever support that you're already getting. This is the first of the series of solo podcasts that I'm doing. And this one is about befriend your body, what that phrase really means. Because if you have listened to the podcast, you may already know that I started a membership community called the Befriend Your Body community. I've had some people ask me, first of all, what does it even mean to you to befriend your body? And also, how can I befriend my body when I hate my body? I've been through so much, my body has changed. I can't even comprehend befriending my body because I don't even have a neutral view of my body right now. It's a very negative view. I want to address, first of all, let's talk about how can somebody who has gone through so much and actually has a real negative perception of their body and negative relationship to their body, how could they possibly even start to befriend their body? And I think, we don't go from here to here overnight, right? There may be a period of time where you're just working on neutrality, like this is my body, and you don't have to have a positive or a negative relationship with it, but just this is the body that I'm in right now and the body that I'm working with. So I want to just be clear that befriending your body doesn't mean that you're immediately friends with your body. It is a process, just like when you make a new friend, you don't meet somebody and become best friends overnight. And so there's a period of time where trust has to be built. And that's what we're doing with our own bodies in the experience of befriending the body. And when somebody asks me what that even means, basically what it is turning back toward the body and building a relationship, maybe for the first time, depending on what our history looks like. But for many people, rebuilding a relationship with the body after a medical trauma or another kind of trauma. And I think something that is really important for people to understand here is this is not an overnight thing. It is a slow, gentle process. And the way that I think of it is it's kind of a series of steps in a way. And I think the very first step is nervous system education. So really starting to understand what your nervous system is, what are some of the just basic things that a nervous system does when we get scared and we feel like we're in a sense of danger. So learning kind of the nervous system and then starting to learn your nervous system. And so we may do a practice like mapping the nervous system that was created by Deb Dana. And that is where we look at what do you feel like? What does the world feel like? What do other relationships feel like when you are in, I'm going to use polyvagal terms here, ventral vagal or sympathetic or dorsal vagal. So then we start this process of you learning about your nervous system. And that gives you information that is so valuable because you'll start to be able to notice when you're shifting into these different nervous system states. And when you start to notice that, then you can start to apply different nervous system practices to shift where you're at as well. And when you can do that, that brings this beautiful sense of agency And it really increases your comfort with your nervous system, your comfort with being with situations that are uncomfortable, because you have a better understanding of what is happening, and you have been learning about it and paying attention to it and seeing that you can get really elevated. And then you have practices that can help you bring yourself back down to a little bit, a place where you feel a little more comfortable, maybe peaceful. And then we start to do a little bit more work where you really are turning back toward yourself and your body, and you're listening. So it may be that you build more nervous system capacity to slow down and maybe listen to what your body is telling you. And it could be that your body is saying, I'm really tired and I need to rest. And then you take a moment to rest in whatever way is accessible, right? That doesn't mean that you necessarily are able to go and take a 2-hour nap, but maybe you find a couple of minutes to feel your feet on the floor and to do some straw breaths. So we're starting this relationship of listening and then actually taking action. And so I also think of this in kind of 3 steps, and that is to acknowledge what you're feeling, validate what you're feeling. You can think, I feel really scared right now. My stomach is really tight. I feel hot. And it makes sense because I just smelled something that reminded me of the hospital when I stayed there, and it was really scary. It reminded me of it. So that it really makes sense. And so you're validating that response and giving yourself a little self-compassion. And then the third step to that is shift. So once you've learned about your nervous system and you've learned some practices, you have the power to acknowledge how you feel, validate why you're feeling that way, and then shift it so you can get yourself into a place that you have a little bit more comfort in. And that's really like what that process of befriending the body looks like. And again, it is not an overnight process. It's a gentle, slow, kind of the opposite of trauma, right? It is a process that we have chosen, that we are purposely slowing down in. Whereas trauma is something usually that we have not chosen, or something that we have chosen has gone differently than we expected. It often feels like it overwhelms our ability to cope with it, and it happens really fast often. So we're doing the opposite. And then when you have that relationship that you are building with your body, you'll find that there is there's a sense of safety that comes with that. And I really think that sense of feeling safety in your body is one of the most crucial parts of healing from trauma. And so that's really what we're slowly building, and we're not rushing it. We're not re-traumatizing ourselves in trying to heal. We are being slow and gentle. If that information resonates with you, or if you want more information, go to my website. It's medicaltraumasupport.com. You can find a lot of resources there. You can contact me through there. You can also find out more about our membership community that is called the Befriend Your Body community. And within that community, we offer nervous system practices. We have community conversations, and we'll bring in people who are working in the medical trauma space. And instead of just having them speak at you, they are engaged in a conversation with you and the community. And you can chat with other people in the community. You can share things. You can share articles. It's really a nice place to go to get both support from people who really get it, who understand what it feels like to live with medical trauma, as well as learning these practices, learning about your nervous system, learning practices that can help you make those shifts in your nervous system. Thank you so much for listening. And I hope you enjoyed this medical trauma support episode. I wanted to let you know that if you are looking for support as you're healing from medical trauma, you can join our membership community. It is called the Befriend Your Body community, and you can find out more at medicaltraumasupport.com.